Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Champ Prediction Show on the Dugout Football channel. It is week 2 of the 25-26 Sky Bet Championship. And the Championship definitely lived up to his name. Let's just be honest. That first game week was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Drama right until the very, very last minute. It was absolutely amazing games, to say the very, very least. So, get your predictions down in the comments for the following games. Following games are going across the bottom of your screen, and we will start with the 12:30 games on Saturday. There are no Friday games this week, so we start at Pride Park. We have Derby County versus Coventry City. Derby on the back of a 3-1 defeat against Stoke City, where they'll be disappointed. They'll be disappointed that they didn't get all 3 points. Kind of in the end, Stoke City ran away with it, really. 3-1 win there. Coventry, 0-0 draw with Hull City, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I think Coventry had the better of the play. They probably should have at least put the ball in the back of the net, but wasn't to be. And a very disappointing start for Frank Lampard, for sure. How do I see this one going? I just think home advantage could be key in this one. I do. I really think home advantage could be key in this one. And I am going Derby County 2, Coventry City 0. I do think Derby could potentially win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win against Coventry City for Derby. Move on to another 12:30 game, and it is Portsmouth against Norwich City. Both of these sides on the back of reverse results, really. Portsmouth beating Oxford by 1-0. Huge win that, if I'm being honest. A really big win for John Mousinho's side. Whereas Norwich did lose by 2-1 against Millwall. A bit of a surprise result there. But look, I've said all season, really, that Portsmouth will be there or thereabouts. I don't think they've got the quality to go down at all. I think they're a really good side, and that's a huge victory for John Mousinho's side against Oxford United. Norwich, well, they'll be kicking themselves. Obviously, Josh Sargent still at the club as it stands at the moment. He was a real handful for Millwall defenders. He really was, and he did get the goal as well. It's a horrible mistake from Benda in the Millwall goal, but he's still got to be there at the right place in the right time, and he was. It was a very bizarre goal, let's put it that way. But I think Norwich would be very happy with that. But yeah, they did lose. They lost by 2-1, which is a real surprise, to say the very least. How do I see this one going? Well, it is at Fratton Park. It is at Fratton Park, and Portsmouth last season had a really good home record in the Championship. So I am going to go Portsmouth 2, Norwich City 1. I do think Portsmouth will get on the end of a victory, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Portsmouth. Now we go over to the racecourse ground, and we have Wrexham against West Brom. Wrexham, so unfortunate to lose to Southampton. I think in the end, though, I think it was the right result. I thought Southampton played really well in that second half. I think Wrexham definitely had the better of the first half. There's no denying that. Look, Wrexham, Josh Windass getting off the score sheet. That's a good start for him. And I look at Wrexham, and I think they've definitely got a team there. You've got Danny Ward in goal. You've also got Connor Cody at the back as well. Ryan Hardy could have scored. When he came on. It was a very good save by Bizanu in the on the goal for Southampton. So Wrexham will be pleased to go back in front of their home fans. The first Championship game at the racecourse ground, so it should be a fascinating atmosphere for sure. West Brom 1-0 win over Blackburn. Very good performance, but I have to say, I think the man of the match in that game has to be Nat Phillips. I did say he's going to be a very good signing for West Brom, and oh my goodness, he was everywhere. I think he headed, about 13 crosses away. It was just a fantastic performance from Nat Phillips, and really, really needed as well for sure. Very good start for Ryan Mason as West Brom manager. So it is at home for Wrexham. And as I said, I do think they're going to have to get used to this league. I do think they're going to have to get used to this league very, very quickly. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I do think there will be a draw in this one. So I'm going to go a 1-1 draw between Wrexham and West Brom. Now we move on to the 3 o'clockers, and we have Blackburn Rovers versus Birmingham City. As I said, Blackburn did lose 1-0 to West Brom, to Valerian Ismail's former club, whereas Birmingham City, I've got to say, did a very good show of themselves against Ipswich, and probably, if we're being honest, were very unfortunate not to win that game. They had a disallowed goal, which I think is an absolute disgrace. I think it's just a real nudge on obviously Greaves' shoulder. Now, I think if that's in the Premier League, I think maybe VAR gives that because it was a very, very soft touch. But I've got to say, Kyogo was an absolute handful for Ipswich defenders. And I'm going to say it now, I do think Kyogo will be a handful in this championship. I really, really do. I think he is going to be a very, very good player in this championship. And I think he is going to do really, really well for Birmingham as well. So it is at Ewood Park. I just think the performance from Birmingham against Ipswich will probably put them in good stead here. And I'm actually going to go for a very narrow 1-0 win to Birmingham City. I just have a feeling Birmingham just got a little bit too much firepower. A little bit too much firepower to contend with Blackburn. So I am going to go for a Birmingham City away win by a goal to 0. Now, two sides who had very impressive victories. Bristol City against Charlton Athletic. Let's talk about Bristol City. People will be like, how did you not do that in the playoff semi-final? Yeah, 4-1 away at Sheffield United. Quite an unbelievable result, has to be said. It was a really, really good performance from Bristol City. Scott Twine got on a couple of the goals as well. Fantastic performance from Bristol City and a really, really impressive showing as well. And currently top of the league. As well. But Charlton, late winner. They'll enjoy that one. I think Nathan Jones enjoyed that one, obviously being an ex-Luton Town manager. He will have enjoyed beating Watford as well. And that was a big, big win for Charlton. And huge, absolutely huge in the circumstances as well. So Bristol City Charlton is at Ashton Gate. I am going to go. I think Bristol City will win this one pretty comfortably. The way they played against Sheffield United, they'll be absolutely buzzing for that one. And I think I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Bristol City. Now, two sides who had very narrow victories in the last game week. Millwall versus Middlesbrough. Millwall getting probably one of the pick of the results, I would say. A 2-1 win away at Norwich. Middlesbrough getting a 1-0 win over Swansea City. So, yeah, Alex Neil, again, we said he was a good manager. We certainly did. We certainly said he was a very good manager. And I think Millwall are looking a real prospect to potentially get into those playoffs. I really, really do. I think they are a really good side. Middlesbrough, very good win against Swansea. Very good start for Rob Edwards. He'll be delighted to get off the mark with Middlesbrough. But going to the Den, completely different kettle of fish to the Riverside. The Den is a really, really tough place to go to. And I just have a feeling that Millwall might get the victory here. And I'm going to go for the same scoreline that Middlesbrough beat Swansea by. I'm going to go Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 0. So there we go. Home win for Alex Neil's side. Preston North End versus Leicester City. Preston with a 1-1 draw away at QPR, which was a very, very good result for them. Leicester, wow, they won 2-1. But that doesn't tell the whole story because Sheffield Wednesday played really, really well against against Leicester, to say the very, very least. But Preston, big, good result away at QPR. Tough place to go to, so really, really good showing on that day. Could have won it. Could have won it. QPR could have won it as well, but a very good win. A very good draw in the end for Preston against QPR. Leicester, as I said, pretty fortunate to beat Sheffield Wednesday. I think the more the game went on, I think obviously Barry Bannon getting a red card, I think that kind of changed the game, but obviously, the two unlikeliest of goal scorers, and Yannick Vestergaard and Wout Wees, who had a very interesting celebration, it has to be said, cupping his ears, and yeah, getting booed after it. So yeah, look, it's one of those ones for Wout Wees. Like Leicester fans clearly want him gone. But he obviously wants to put a showing on, and we'll see what will develop in this one. This is a deep deal. I think Leicester should be expected to win this one. I think they should be expected to win this one. I think they should have too much firepower. Obviously, Jordan Ayew, Mavididi, and Abdul Fatawi. I think they've got way too much to show for themselves. But I'm going to give Leicester a very narrow 2-1 win. I think they will win this one. Very narrow 2-1 win to Leicester City. And now we have beleaguered Sheffield Wednesday versus Stoke City. I've got to say, from watching the highlights, Sheffield Wednesday were extremely unlucky not to get anything out of Leicester City. Chalobah got the opening goal. Yes, it was deflected, but again, you make your own luck in this in this game, especially in the Championship. And yeah, they were unlucky. They were unlucky to lose to Leicester, but um, they'll be buoyed on about that because I think that was a really good performance from Sheffield Wednesday, and they'll definitely want to try and do to start getting results on the board. That's one thing I think they would want to try and do is get results on the board as well. Stoke City, very good result against Derby County, 3-1 after coming back from a goal behind. Lewis Baker with the pick of the goals, lovely curler into the bottom corner, no chance for the Derby County goalkeeper. And then yeah, pretty much it was plain sailing really. Get the second and I get the third pretty much after it to say the very, very least. Yeah, tricky one to call. As I was at Hillsborough, most of that stadium is going to be closed because there is obviously safety concerns over I think it's the Leppings Lane area of the ground. So that's going to be very intriguing to see. But yeah, I can only really see Stoke winning this one. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Stoke City. But if Sheffield Wednesday play like they did against Leicester, then I think they'll be absolutely fine. Definitely. Now, to two sides who had very bad games of the weekend. Swansea against Sheffield United. Swansea getting beat 1-0 by Middlesbrough. Sheffield United 4-1 to Bristol City. Very shocking result for Sheffield United. I mean, Swansea fans have already said they've been a bit worried about obviously Alan Sheehan performances in pre-season, and I think in this game, like against Middlesbrough, they had their chances. They had their chances in that game, and they probably should have got something out of the game. Let's be honest, they should have got something out of the game, but they're back in front of their home fans. Um, and again, they are being backed by obviously these new American owners, so it should be very intriguing to see what they do in the rest of the window. Sheffield United, look, I'm going to say it. Ruben Selles does really well keeping clubs in the league. This is a whole new kettle of fish for him. He's now a manager that's really expected to try and get them into the playoff picture, but not with the defending like they did against Bristol City. They were absolutely shocking against Bristol City. I was amazed, to be honest. I thought Sheffield United would have came out of a comfortable win, but it wasn't to be. And yeah, very, very worrying, I think, if you're a Sheffield United fan as well. So, and there's already people calling for his head, which I think is really, really harsh, to say the very, very least. But I'm actually going to first. I'm going to go for a home win here. I'm going to go for Swansea City 2, Sheffield United 1. I think Swansea could surprise a few, and I'm going to go for them to win by 2-1. Now we have a London derby. We have Watford against QPR. Watford, what can you say? You just don't know with Watford, do you? You just do not know what you're going to get. And to concede a very last minute winner to Charlton was very disappointing. Indeed, QPR obviously a 1-1 draw with Preston as well. Look, I would expect these two to be sort of nearer sort of the bottom half of the table. As well, but again, QPR had their chances against Preston and were unlucky not to win, to say the very very least. But it is a Vicarage Road. I'm going to go for a home win in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Watford in this one. Now, we move on to the Sunday game, and what a game this is. Ipswich Town versus Southampton. The two teams that came down from the Premier League are facing each other in the second match week. So, this will definitely be like a Premier League clash, let's be honest. Ipswich very fortunate to get a draw against Birmingham, I've got to say. I don't think that was a penalty. I don't think it was. I think it's a really, really shocking decision by the referee. But they got the draw. They got the draw, and they'll be happy with that. Obviously, George Hurst got the equalising goal. Southampton left it late, but there's nothing like a late winner to boost the crowd and to get them off their seats, because Ryan Manning's goal was an absolute peach, and then Jack Stevens coming off the bench as well to win the game for Southampton. Look, as I said, these two, it's probably going to be between these two. Maybe I think for the league title and potentially automatics. So I can't really separate them. I can't separate them in this one. I'm going to go 1-1 draw for Ipswich and Southampton. And the final game to preview and predict of the weekend's fixtures is Hull City against Oxford United. Hull City with a 0-0 draw away at Coventry, which was a good result, I thought. And Oxford have a 1-0 defeat to Portsmouth, which was very disappointing, to say the very, very least. Obviously, Hull, they've got Gelhard now from Leeds on another loan, so that'll be interesting for him to sort of give the firepower there at Hull. And good result against Coventry. It was a good result. Coventry probably should have won, but there was a very good result to get a 0-0 draw away at Coventry. And Oxford, unlucky to lose to Portsmouth, but I think this is kind of where this sort of the second season syndrome comes in, doesn't it? It just feels like it may be the second season syndrome that's coming in for Oxford. But look, I think it's a really really good game, this one. At the KCOM, of course, I don't know if it's called the KCOM anymore. It's been called loads of things, isn't it? It's been called the KCs and the KCOM. But anyway, Hull are at home. I think that they will win this one. I'm going to go Hull City 2, Oxford United 0. So there are my predictions for match week number 2. I'll go through them very, very quickly again. Derby County 2, Coventry City 0. Portsmouth 2, Norwich City 1. Wrexham 1, West Brom 1. Blackburn 0, Birmingham City 1. Bristol City 3, Charlton Athletic 1. Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 0. Preston North End 1, Leicester City 2. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Stoke City 2. Swansea City 2, Sheffield United 1. Watford 2, QPR 0. Ipswich Town 1, Southampton 1. And Hull City 2, Oxford United 0. There are my predictions. I'm sure you have got your own. Please leave your predictions in the comment section down below, and please leave a like on the video. It does help the algorithm. And thank you very much for the support on the last video. I really do appreciate it. And there will be more Championship content coming on this channel very, very soon. But from myself, enjoy the football. Obviously, Ipswich Southampton, pick of the games for me. I was being an ex-Premier League game. We'll see what happens in that one. But from myself, for the time being, it is goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.